Singer, songwriter, actress, entrepreneur, and activist, Chicago native Sandy Red is a performer that commands a stage. She wowed America with her show-stopping performance on NBC's The Voice. She continues to create music for her ever-growing fan base, and with her latest single, Live and Breathe Again, a powerful piece about what it's like raising Black children and being Black. The Chicago Defender had an opportunity to talk to Sandy Red about her Chicago roots, how the pandemic affected her, her new single, and upcoming new album, Sing Red.
All right. So can you give me a little bit of history on your background? I know you're from here. Where specifically?
Well, I was actually born in Chicago, but my mom moved us to the suburbs right outside of Chicago very early. So by the time I made it to high school, I was in Markham, Illinois.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But still back and forth between Markham and 82nd and Low. So
All right.
now,
When did you start singing and getting into that?
I've been singing actually all of my life. My mom was like a mixture between like the Jackson Five meets the Clark sisters because
Okay.
she would get us up in the mornings for our Bible study lessons, and then it was on to our music lessons, practicing our harmonies and our notes and our scales and everything. So she was the first and foremost teacher of music in my life, and she's my biggest inspiration. So it started when I was very young, but
So there was
professionally,
music always in the house and
oh,
singing and everything.
absolutely, absolutely. I decided to do it professionally about 11 years ago. That's when I really said, there's something missing in my life.
Mm.
And that was music at the time. I wasn't doing my music, but I really still had a heart for it and wanted to pursue it. And, God opened up some avenues for that to happen. And I took advantage of it.
Well, so one thing that we share in common, we're both, or at the time, we're both single parents. So I understand that leap and trying to decide if I'm going to really go and pursue this dream and this passion that I have. Was
Yeah,
that part of it?
absolutely. I was always terrified because, I have been the provider in my household. I was, working a very good job. I was in corporate and very successful at it. So it's not like I had a job that's like, okay, it's okay to lose that money. I
Right.
was making, six-figure salary. So
Mm-hmm.
but God had another plan for me because I continued to pray like, God, I just know I'm missing something. I need more time for my music. Please give me more time.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, okay, he gonna, clear some stuff. He
Mm-hmm.
cleared everything. I got laid off. And
Wow.
it wasn't
What they
how
say, what the Bible say, your gift will make space for you.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And for, I want to say a solid 6 months, I was in this whole depressed, woe is me. What did I do wrong? I had a good job. Now I'm struggling. I got my kids. I'm trying to figure it out. And it just dropped in my spirit one day. Like, this is what you asked for. You asked for more time. You have it.
Yeah.
Go. And
Right.
once I clicked that switch, started pursuing my music, the struggle was still very real for years, but I was so fulfilled in what it was that I was doing that it didn't feel so tough. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I was able to actually start surviving off of it, making money. And I haven't
Right.
looked back since. I haven't had a real job. I ain't gonna say a real job because music is real,
Well,
but
okay.
but I haven't had a 9 to 5 where I've had to answer
Nine to
to
five.
anybody but myself for
Yeah.
the last 11 years, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I remember watching you on The Voice, and I know everybody talks about your initial, first song where everybody turned the chairs, but the song
Mhm.
that did it for me when you did No More Drama,
Ah,
like the tears, like when I tell you, I felt that. Like I loved you watching the show, but that performance just hit me like in the chest. And
oh,
that's when, they say there are people who can sing and there are people who are anointed, you know what I mean? So that kind of voice that brings that kind of emotion and passion, that's how I knew no matter what happened on that show,
yeah.
we were going to be hearing from you again.
Amen.
Like, I just, and I love it because it's so, we always say it, but it's so much talent here.
Yeah.
And obviously we were happy to see that talent shine on a platform like that. But since that, since that show, what has life been like?
Oh, at first it was a whirlwind because you come off that kind of high, and then it's
Hmm.
interviews left and right, is different bookings left and right. I was doing my own tour, where I was touring Red Fever, with I want to say I hit uh 10 different cities. Then on top of that, I had booked this Broadway national tour. So I was on
Mm,
the road constantly for that, for a year-long contract, and doing my performing arts program. So I was literally busy.
yeah.
And then COVID hit
Hmm.
and everything stopped.
Everything. I have so
Everything.
many friends who are artists that talk about those first 2 weeks, just seeing
Um,
their money and their gigs and everything just literally disappear.
yeah,
And the shock of that, like, what I've had a couple of interviews with creatives and we've talked about, like, that moment. Did you
yeah,
have a moment where you were shook before you can even start thinking about what am I about to do now? Did you
right.
have that moment where you had to pause?
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me set this up for you. Okay. So when I accepted the contract for this national tour, it had me on the road for an entire year. So we were literally traveling to a different city every week. I lived in New York for about 3 months just for rehearsals for this thing.
Mm.
So we were on the road every single week. So for this opportunity, I had to make some major changes. I gave up my home and put everything in storage.
Oh,
And
wow.
because it didn't make any sense for me to have
Right.
somewhere planted with me being gone for a year, which we had already got word could turn into 2 years. So I'm like, well, I don't want to have something at home tie me down. So let me go ahead and let that go.
Right.
I reposition my children, who I've been a single parent to for the last 15 years. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I repositioned them with their father. We always had a good dynamic and back and forth, but they were always with me. I was the one that
Right.
carried the weight of everything. And now I'm transitioning them over there for this opportunity, only to get
Mm.
sent back home to nothing.
Oh,
So it was a major, major hit. It was a major, major, depressing moment in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I went
yeah,
through a tough time.
that's
And
real.
yeah, and bouncing from house to house, because now I don't have my own, and I've been used to having my own, and depending on friends and family, in which I will attest, I have great friends, great family, great support systems that have my back every step of the way. My music team, everybody just kind of rallied behind me and really like brought
Hmm.
me in. So I'm thankful for that. But it was definitely a hard transition,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So
So, what takes you from that to a place where you feel creative again? Like, how do you feel creative when the rug has been snatched out of you? How do
I
you
had
come
to
out of
do
that?
I had to do some major self-care. I
Mm.
had to do some major self-love, self-care, because at the end of the day, when you have something that happens like that, it literally tears pieces away from
Yeah.
you. And I wanted to really strengthen myself back up. And I realized in that moment of COVID that I wasn't healthy, emotionally and spiritually. And it didn't
Hmm.
it didn't help that I had went through a bad breakup at the time too. A
Right.
relationship that I held on to on and off for about 9 years. So it's kind of like, all this stuff hit me at once.
At once. Right.
Yeah, so I really had to step back and take a look at myself and figure out, okay, why am I in this place? And what do I
Mm.
need to do to get out of it? And I had to start loving on myself and really speaking powerful things into my spirit and making sure that every day I'm trying to believe those things until I actually do.
Hmm.
So it took that and really building my self-worth for me to be strong enough to even start pursuing creative things again.
Right.
You know. So yeah, it was hard though.
I took a listen to your song "Live and Breathe Again," and another song hit me in the gut. I immediately thought of my own kids. It's just,
Mhm.
you really captured the range of emotions that most of us have been feeling.
Yeah.
in a way that, some of us may not be able to communicate that anger, the parts where you're saying, y'all keep telling me to turn the other cheek, but you
Right.
know, can you talk to me about Live and Breathe Again and where all of that came from?
Um, Live and Breathe Again definitely is inspired by my boys because, being a mother to Black children and being Black myself. You
Right.
know, I'm fearful when I see these situations that happen all the time, and you never
Yep.
know if next time it could be your child. I have a 20-year-old. He driving, he moving around, he working, he doing his own thing, and you never know if something like that could happen to him that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So, Live and Breathe Again came from a place where you have all of these different people that are dying today from police brutality. And then you
Mhm.
rewind back to those people who have dedicated their lives to the civil rights movement to even fight for the minimal rights that we have today.
Right.
And then you rewind even more back to those who died during slavery. And I wanted a song to give voice to them, to let the world know that even though that they're gone, their spirits still live and breathe through us as long as we continue to do the work to make sure that people change their perspectives on how important Black life is.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
that's where the song came from. And I
Yeah.
really want people to feel what I feel every day, whether you Black, white, blue, brown, it don't matter. I wanted
Yeah.
that song for them to feel what I feel every day for my own
I
songs.
felt that. I felt the sadness and the moments of rage, like those, that range of emotions. And I think
Mhm.
especially with everything that we've all gone through in one year, just being hit by multiple, I felt like it was like this triple threat, of negativity and being in a space where not only you stay creative, but you're
Mhm.
putting out work that is impactful.
No, I was gonna say I think that with everything that happened, even with COVID, I look at COVID as a blessing and a curse. Because the curse, because of course we don't want our loved ones sick, we don't want them dying,
Right.
we don't want them dying alone. That's not anything I would wish on anyone. But
Right.
the thing that came out of COVID for me is that it sat all of us down and it made the world look at what's been happening all this time.
Yeah.
At this point, you're not busy, you're not occupied, you're not desensitized because you're all over the place with work and all of this stuff. So now
Mm-hmm.
you actually get to sit still and truly see what has been happening to us for our entire lives. And you have
Right.
no choice but to pay attention.
That's so true, because I found it so, I'm like, this is not new. But
Yeah.
yet the world, when I'm looking at people protesting
Yeah.
in Paris and Japan, and I was trying to figure out like what is it about this go round? And it was like everybody is still.
Yeah.
You can't act like you don't know. You can't act like you don't see it. It's in your face and you are nowhere but in your house,
Yeah.
either on social media or watching TV. And
Yeah.
it was one of those moments where, you know, you can't deny it anymore. You can't deny it exists.
You
And
can't
and
deny it
that's
or ignore it.
right, right.
Hmm.
Can you talk to me about the album, the upcoming album? What can we look forward to?
Well, the upcoming album is called Seeing Red. Live and Breathe Again is the first single for the album, but Seeing Red is just what it says. It's kind of like a double meaning because you know how when people say, oh my God, I got so angry, I saw red and I lost it.
Yep, yep.
So I wanted people to see and feel through my music those angry times, those emotional times, those sad times where you really see red and you lose it. And I want them to
Mm-hmm.
feel what's impacted me in my life. And so that's where it switches over to the seeing red. That's red with two doggone D's. And
Mm-hmm.
I want them to really feel and see me through this music as vulnerable and as stripped as possible. I don't want to hide. I don't want to fake. I don't want to pretend to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to feel me and really get to know me through this album.
And I think that those are the most impactful projects, the ones that are the most authentic, because
Yeah.
the reality is everybody ain't always singing about love and flowers all the time. Sometimes we mad,
Exactly.
sometimes we pissed off,
Yeah.
sometimes some man done made us mad and
Oh,
we
yeah.
cussing and all kinds of stuff. So
Mhm.
it's a combination of all of those things, right?
Absolutely. And that's why Live and Breathe Again is the perfect first installment to that album, because it
Hmm.
gives the anger and the sadness and the hurt that I feel for my own kids and my own
Right,
life. We live
right.
this every day. So this song is also a part of me and how I
Hmm.
truly feel about what's going on in our world today. So absolutely.
And I think it's a great example. A lot of times, particularly with Black women, we don't express it, all
Mm-hmm.
of it, every weight that we carry, every all of those things, we keep it inside and we keep it moving. That's part of the beauty of it. But there are moments we're getting that out, whether it's anger or sadness or rage, in a space where people aren't just saying, hey, you angry Black woman. It's
Yeah.
just I'm human. I'm
Yeah.
human and I have the right to get these feelings and emotions out. I think when artists and when other creatives actually do that, it gives people permission to say it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, Black women, to take that cape off and
Yeah.
say, today my soul is burdened. I'm weary today. Like I'm done with
Absolutely.
today, you know. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what I think people gravitate to you. They see that kind of authenticity and that realness, you know, whether, and I've watched, you know, I follow you on Instagram. So I've seen you on IG and you've been very real. Like, today I'm not feeling my body. I need to get on X, Y, and Z. And that's, I mean, that's all of us, you know. And I think that's part, you know, besides your obvious talent, it's the authenticity that comes through. So can you tell people when to expect the project? I know the single is already out and being played, but when can we find the project?
Well, I'm not putting the date out yet, but it will be in the fall. In the meantime, there's
Okay.
going to be a couple of singles that precede that. So, just kind of building the anticipation for it. But, with the album, they're going to get both sides. They're not just going to get the hurt and the pain and the anger, but they're also going to
Right.
get hope and the happiness and, all of those things that come with the self-love journey and everything. They're
Right.
going to get all of those pieces, but they can definitely look for it in the fall and follow me on all of my social media, Sandy Red Music,
Yep.
because I'm always posting about it, always trying to create the platform to put out positive messaging.
Now, have you come up with any, because I know it's so hard to plan promotion because
Mhm.
we don't know if we open, close, whatever. Do you have anything scheduled, or are you in the process of thinking about it? I know it's kind of a weird space that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, right now, I've been working on different projects behind the scenes. I just did a movie that I'm very proud of.
Oh, okay.
Night Your Love. It is my first movie that I have a starring role in, so I'm super excited about that. And that's also set to come out this year. But working on that, and also working on my music and my project. I
Right.
also am still under contract with the National Broadway Tour, so we should be leaving again by end of summer. So that's definitely in the works as well. And just continuing with my performing arts program that I started in my mother's honor. I've been doing that for about 11 years now, just really sowing seeds into our young minds and, teaching them singing, dancing, acting, and songwriting, where basically it's just mentorship through music. And so
Hmm.
continuing to build that and make that a national brand as well. So I got a lot on my plate. I
It
plan
sounds like it. What you say, booked and busy. Look.
on hey, and I almost forgot. I just finished the last piece of my music video, Live and Breathe Again. We just finished
Oh,
it today.
you
Yes.
got a video coming out. Oh, I can't wait to see what the video for
Yeah,
Live
the
and
video
Breathe
for Live
Again.
and Breathe Again, my new single. Shouts out to Stacy Gill, aka Miss Breezy. She directed the video. She's also the writer and director of the film that I just did as well, Ignite Your Love. So she's doing some big things in Chicago as well. Look out for her. And then, but yeah, we just finished shooting the video today, so I'm super excited. That's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks as well.
Well,
Yes.
the Defender, we love to write about our people, especially our people who are out here doing good. So we're excited to put this story out here.
Yeah.
We like to put a light on our people doing good. We try to counteract all the foolishness that you see in other stuff. So we like to highlight the good that's coming out of this city and out of this community in particular. So I can't tell you, I wish you so much success personally, professionally. I just admire everybody creative right now. So it's pretty intense. So congratulations, continued
Thank
success.
you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Likewise.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
For more on Sandy Red and all things Chicago, be sure to visit the Chicago Defender website at www.chicagodefender.com.